Assalamu alaikum, good morning, good afternoon everyone, wherever you are in the world, if you're watching live. My name is Sardar and I work for the Economist Impact. Umar साहब ने अभी बात की representation from different parts of Pakistan. मैं खुद गिलगित बल्तिस्तान से हूँ, but I work abroad and I'm here just for this event, and I can't tell you how immensely happy I am to be here among all of you. So just a bit of an introduction. Economist Impact recently conducted a research supported by Google in Pakistan and abroad in Asia Pacific region, जिसमें हमने फोकस किया था डिजिटल स्किल्स के ऊपर कंट्री में क्या डिजिटल स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट है, क्या गैप्स हैं, so on so forth. So I'm here to present the findings of that research with all of you today. Hopefully you will find it really interesting. So I think it comes at no surprise that digital upskilling and reskilling in Pakistan is in high demand. In our research that we conducted, we asked our respondents, our employees, about the various skills that they think are important for their sector. And the graph on the right, you can see digital skills are right at the top. 57% of the employees consider digital skill as a top priority. Followed that up, you have self-management skills, soft skills, and analytical skills. Then we asked our employees about why they consider digital skills to be so important. और उसमें दो वजूहात हमारे सामने आई. One is that these employees consider digital skills super important for their career progression. And the second thing that they think is it helps them negotiate a better pay with their employer. Then we asked about these other skills. You can see entrepreneurial skills and green skills, which are really at a lower end in Pakistan, the way employees see it, which in itself, of course, is a problem that we need to address, particularly given the climate change and how it's impacting Pakistan. But today we won't be focusing on that. We'll be focusing on other bits. Then we asked our employees within the digital skills, what specific skills are more or less important, and they are a must-have. पता ये चला कि जो basic digital skills हैं, employees think they are a must-have. A majority of them think it's a must-have. But unfortunately, and perhaps this is where the problem exists, जो आपके advanced digital skills हैं, things like coding, programming, cloud computing, Internet of Things, process automation, and so on and so forth, employees think it's not a must-have, it's a good-to-have. And actually, some of them think it's not even needed in Pakistan. And perhaps that gets reflected in how the sector, the industry, or the employers currently feel the need of lack of skills. Take IT sector, for example. Only 20% of the local IT and engineering graduates were considered employable. अब ये तो सिर्फ पाकिस्तान की बात हो रही है, but if you think about opening up to the world, then you can think about all these advanced digital skills to be super, super important. लेकिन employees don't consider that importance of these advanced digital skills. We look at the potential impact or the benefit of this digital upskilling and reskilling for Pakistan. And we can think of three big reasons. Number one, youth employment. हम सबको पता है कि पाकिस्तान में unemployment के बड़े issues हैं. Currently, 31% of the educated youth is unemployed. But freelance market, that has over 70% of freelancers under the age of 30. And in Pakistan, currently there are around 3 million freelancers according to some estimates. Now you can already imagine how much of an employment it could generate for youth in this country. Number two, foreign reserves. We all know the economic crisis Pakistan is going through at the moment. And in that freelance economy, freelance market fueled by digital upskilling and reskilling can bring in humongous foreign reserves for Pakistan. Some estimates have suggested last year in fiscal year 2022, freelance market contributed to around $400 million of foreign reserves for Pakistan. And as a matter of fact, Pakistan is the third largest growing freelance economy in the world. Now you can already imagine the potential it has for this economy. The third one is about empowering women. We all know the labor force participation rates in this country for women in particular are dismal. Only 25% of the working age women in this country are actually part of labor force, while among men the same percentage is around 81%. Now some estimates suggest if women participate at the same number, roughly around 70-80%, your GDP of the country could go up by 60%. That's huge. Now think about, in that context, think about freelance economy fueled by digital upskilling and reskilling. Not only it can bring women into labor force, but also it makes them employed labor force. Not only that, but also the income that women freelancers get out of freelance economy is more, 10% higher than men. And that says how much of an empowerment potential can this freelance market have. In our research, we also asked, in addition to digital skills, asked our employees about softer skills. And they do consider soft skills to be important as well. 47% of the employees think it is important to have soft skills. And within that, there are communication skills, leadership skills they consider super important. Interestingly, the interlinkages between one set of skills to another is super interesting because 81% of the employees that we reached out to think that if they have digital skills, it actually helps them communicate better, think critically, and analyze things better. So the interlinkages between these skills is also important. One makes the other one better. Now, naturally, the question is, if the potential is so much, if the gap between supply and demand is so much, why it's not happening? And there we have two big sets of problems. Number one are more macroeconomic problems. I think we all are aware of it. I come from Gilgit-Baltistan. I can tell you all these issues that we have. So macroeconomic challenges, access to electricity, access to internet. 1 in 4 Pakistanis do not have access to power. That means if this was entire Pakistan, 1 row will not have access to power. That's too many people. And then similarly, 47%, that's almost half of your population, does not have access to internet. And I'm sure in that a lot of remote areas do come in. And areas where you have both electricity and internet, the usage of internet is very, very low. It could be because of the low literacy rates in this country, which are a lot low. It could be other reasons. But it's electricity access, internet access, and the usage gap. All of those come out as macroeconomic challenges where our workforce cannot upskill or reskill, digitally or otherwise. The other set of problems actually come from workplace issues. Things like lack of time. There are fewer opportunities to practice the skills that these employees learn. There isn't enough of a conducive learning environment in these workplaces. And last but not the least, there is a high cost of upskilling and reskilling. In our research, we also asked about expectations of employees from different stakeholders. And we can see clear roles which come out as expectations from the employees. If we look at government, for example, employees clearly think that the government should be providing financial incentives for skilling, upskilling, and reskilling to these employees. Similarly, employees also expect government to provide access to diversified skilling programs. With employers, it's very interesting because if you look at the knowledge gaps there are, more than half of the employees admit that they don't understand what skills are in demand. And that's just talking about Pakistan. Think about their knowledge, employees' knowledge about what skills are in demand in the whole world. So these employees don't know. And then they also rely on the employer trainings to upskill themselves. So combine that, the expectation from the employer is very, very clear, which is to provide both access and also information to these various training programs. I do want to conclude with some key takeaways, and those key takeaways pertain to key stakeholders in this discussion. Number one is employers. As I just said, it has become very clear that these digital skills are increasingly important, but the employer needs to provide both access and information to their employees on what skills are in demand, where they should focus on, and also provide those training programs. For the employees or the workers themselves, it's important to learn all these soft skills because they are pervasive across different sectors and job roles, and those skills will put them at a difference to others. Last but not least, government. The government could facilitate a conducive ecosystem by providing an equal opportunity for all, where the potential of digital economy could unleash. And with that, I'll pass it back to Franza. Thank you.